Thank you. The lights are on. And on the 4th of July, I will get my ordination. So literally in light of that, I will sing the next song, which is Psalm 95, which you can find on page 70 in the Dutch Nusach, the Dutch tradition. Lechu ner Adonai, nari ala tzur yishenu, nakat mafanav betoda, bismirot nari alo, ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim, asher beyado mechkare aretz vetoafot harim lo. Asher lo hayam vehu asehu, veyabeshet yadav yatzuru bo, nishtachave v'nichra'a nivracha lifnei Adonai Oseinu, ki hu Eloheinu ve'anachnachu. I amarito vetzon yado ayom, im bekolo tishma'u, im bekolo tishma'u. So I think that's enough for the Dutch tradition at this point. Miriam, you're always in this service when I'm leading it. So I would like to invite you to read with me the next part of the service. If you could sing the italics or the indented sides. So I start and you respond, if that's okay.
Yes.
Sing a new song to the Eternal One.
Sing to your Creator, all the earth.
Sing to the Eternal One, praise God's name.
Proclaim God's salvation from day to day.
Declare God's glory among the nations.
God's wonders among all the peoples.
For great is the Eternal One, and greatly to be praised.
To be revered above all other gods.
For all of them are mere idols.
But the Eternal One made the heavens.
Honor and majesty are in God's presence.
Strength and beauty in God's sanctuary.
Acclaim the Eternal One, all races and peoples.
Acknowledge God's glory and might.
Worship the Eternal One in the beauty of holiness.
Tremble in God's presence, all the earth.
Declare among the nations, God reigns, the world stands firm.
God judges the peoples with justice.
Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice.
Let the sea and all that fills it roar out praise.
Let the field exult and all that is in it.
Let the trees of the forest shout for joy before God, who comes to rule the earth.
Through the world with righteousness.
And the peoples with truth.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you very much. So all mute yourselves, and we now are going to start on page 73 with Lecha Dodi. So please all mute yourself. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shahamor וסחור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי הוא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. So traditionally now we stand, but if you're not able to, like I am, being seated is fine as well. בואי ושלום עטרת ועלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. So now we're going to scroll to page 92. And I have to scroll myself as well, so take your time if you're having a physical prayer book or either following us by screen. So page 92. Which starts with the Baruch Hu, and I will allow there we are on page 92. Thank you very much. Baruch Hu et Adonai ha'mavorach. Baruch Adonai Amavorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher bidbaro ma'ariv arvim B'chokhma potech she'arim ובתבונה משנה עיתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמורותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, כולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריף ערבים. And Simon, can I ask you to start with unending love? For which you have to unmute. Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amchato Torah u'mitzvot Chulchim u'mishpatim Hatanu limadata Al kain Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbeinu v'chumeinu nasiach b'chuchecha v'nismach b'divrei toratcha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ובהם נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Simon, you were not lying when you said you could sing. You actually can really sing really well. Wonderful. Thank you very much. So we're now on page 94 for the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם בשבתך וביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. So Mel, we're now on page 95. Would you be ready and able to read Be Mindful of All? For which you have to unmute yourself.
Did you say June? Oh, yeah.
Mel Millenbach. So Be Mindful of All.
L'zman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kadoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiyot lechem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
It almost sounded like a choir.
Yes.
Wonderful. That was wonderful.
And it's lovely.
5. All this will to be true and sure. You alone, eternal one, are our God, and you are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together. Micha mocha Mailim Adonai, Mirka mocha Nedar bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, Osef ele Adonai imloch, Osef ele Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה, אדוני, גאל ישראל. השכיבנו, אדוני, אלוהינו, אלוהינו לשלום. והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Grant, eternal God, that we may lay down in peace, and let us rise up to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your wise counsel, and for your name's sake, be our help. Shield us from sickness and war, from famine and distress, and of course, COVID. And keep us from wrongdoing. Shelter us in the shed of your wings, for you are our guardian and deliverer, a gracious and merciful God, God our going out and our coming in, that now and always we may have life and peace. We praise you, O God. May your sheltering peace descend on us and on all who dwell on earth. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol yoshvei tevel. So, dear friends, we're now on page 97 for the Amidah. If you are able to stand, and if the Zoom conundrum allows you, then you could. But if not, like in my case, remaining seated is perfectly fine. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi teilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi teilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el hagadol hagibor ha'anora, El ha'elyon. גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכה חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לפני פניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מחלקל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. ומי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. You are holy, awesome is your name. We have no God but you. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el, HaKadosh. And Jen, I see you're logged on as well. I was hoping you might read for us. We thank you, O God, for this Shabbat day on page 98.
We thank you, O God, for this Shabbat day, which calls us to a closer communion with you. Though you are near to us at all times, you reveal your presence most clearly when we direct our thoughts to you in worship and meditation. In you, O God, our humanity is exalted. You are our life. From you come its greatness, its power, its beauty. Establish in us, we humbly pray, a devotion to you that shall be firm in all the circumstances of life. May this service renew in our hearts the sense of your presence and bring us peace.
Thank you, Jen. Wonderfully. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. For some reason, when I open my mouth, my gallery view turns into single view, and I like to see all of you, so I turn it back into gallery view again. Just so you know. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments, and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Shabbat enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai HaMekadesh HaShabbat. Nick, I know you have been pulling the live stream up until now, but would you like to read for us, Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel?
Sure. Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel, and in your love accept their prayers. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. We praise you, O God, whom alone we worship in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, shodcha levadcha bayira na'avod.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick. You do so much for us already during this live stream, so I commend you on this extra effort. We give thanks that you, Eternal One, are our God. As you were the God of our ancestors, you are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of our goodness, to whom our thanks are due. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot. Anthony, would you be ready to read for us Supreme Source of Peace? On page 101.
Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amchab Tosim Li Olam Ki Atah Hu Melech Adon V'Kol HaShalom Tov B'Einecha Levarech Et Amcha Yisrael Ve'et Kol Ha'amim V'Kol Sha'ah B'Shlomecha Baruch Atah Adonai Osei HaShalom. We praise you, O God, the source of peace.
Thank you, Anthony. Very well done. Thank you so much. Yhi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai, Eloheinu, שתשכן בפורנו אהבה ואחווה ושלום ורעות, ותצליח סופנו אחרית ותקווה. ותקננו בחבר טוב ויצר טוב בעולמך. ונסכים ונמצא, יחול לבבנו, לראה את שמך ותבוא לפניך, קורת נפשנו לטובה. Oh my God, guard my tongue from speaking evil and my lips from telling lies. Even when others curse me, may my soul be silent and humble as the dust to all. Open my heart to your teaching and make me eager to do your will. Dissuade those who seek to harm me, and let not their plans prevail. Let out so Imrei fi Migyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Megoali Megoali. So this is the moment for our healing prayer. And our healing prayer we find on page 22 of our prayer book. And since this is a live streamed broadcast, if you have any names to share, please put them in the chat, because otherwise they will be online. So we have to protect our privacy. So if you like to share names, and they will be in private, they will not be read out loud, put them in the chat. And this is the moment you can do this. So they are well received, and everybody will have them. I will start to commence reading on page 22 for the healing prayer. May it be your will, Eternal One, our God and God of our ancestors, speedily to grant a perfect healing of body and soul to all who are sick. We praise you, O God, healer of the sick. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim, in body and in spirit. We're now continuing our service. This would be our sermon slot, and usually if this wouldn't have been live streamed, we would have been breaking out into breakout rooms. Instead, we'll be breaking into breakout rooms right after Adon Olam, if so you wish to do so. I will be present, so if you'd like to talk and stay on a little longer after the live stream is over, then please stay along, which will be after Adon Olam. We're now going to Aleinu, which we can find on page 520. So if Julie could bring us to page 520. Wonderful, wonderful. Aleinu leshabeach le'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסת הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפר זולתו, ככתוב, וידעת תורתו, ידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים מעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. Sharon, would you like to read the bit on page 521, which starts with trusting in you?
Thank you. Trusting in you, eternal God, we hope soon to behold the glory of your might, when false gods will vanish from our hearts and idolatry cease forever. Help us to perfect the world by bringing it under your unchallenged rule, when all will invoke your name, relinquish evil, and turn to you and you alone. May all who dwell on earth come to know that to you every knee must bend and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you let them humble themselves, and to your glorious name let them give honour. Let all submit to your sovereign rule. May that time come soon and last forever. For ultimate sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written, the Eternal One shall reign forever. And it has been said, the Eternal God shall rule over all the earth. On that day, the Eternal God shall be one and known to be one.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. So this is the moment in the service that we reach the time that we remember our dear ones. So I think, Nick, this is time to close the live stream for a second, because we're going to read out names. So we wait until that happens.
Okay, we can keep it going for this part.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nick. Just to be absolutely sure. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. As we worship before you, O God, we think of those who once shared with us the joys and burdens of life, and who are no longer in our midst. The sorrow of bereavement is softened by the bond of love, which continues to unite us with our dear ones, and by our cherished memories of them, which we will always carry in our hearts. May all that was good in their lives remain with us as an influence for good. O God, grant consolation to those who are in sorrow, and light to those in darkness. Teach us at all times to put our trust in you and to praise your name. So this week, unfortunately, we have a bit of an extensive gathering of people who are remembering, since we are going to remember the people in the week before us, and also the ones who are present, and particularly wants to commemorate the loved ones today. So we are commemorating Bernard Marks, Mayor Margaret, Mark Morrison, Mo Levy, Nick Harris, Crenny Lutwin, Jack Sampson, Phyllis Cohen, Sarah Jacobs, Rita Sclair, and Anne Pym. May their memory be a blessing. We're now going to continue to the next page, which we can find on page 524, which is the Kaddish. Please mute you all, but if you are particularly remembering these people today, please, while muted, say the words of the Kaddish with me together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabba, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye chon v'yomei chon, v'chaye dechol bet Yisrael, ba'agala ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר, ויתרומם, ויתנשא. ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה, בריחו. לאלה אמין כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה. דאמירן בעלמה אמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, במהרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא ועל כל בני אדם. Before we going to start with our Adon Olam, I could imagine myself there should be or could be some community announcements, and I saw that Stuart is logged on. So Stuart, is that true? Are there some community announcements?
There are, Peter. There's always lots of things going on at ELELS. And thanks, Peter. Shabbat Shalom to you all. Thanks to Peter, student Rabbi Peter, for leading the service, and for Nick and June for hosting, and all who took part. Thank you. Tomorrow morning's service begins at 10:45 and is led by Ben Glassman. Sunday evening at 7:30 is our quiz, and there's new quiz masters this week, Suzanne and Mike, and please register on the update. Each weekday at 11 a.m. is our very precious 11s chat, either hosted by Gary or June, or there's some guest hosts coming on now. We discuss an extremely wide range of matters. And on Monday at 4 o'clock is the ELES Puzzlers. Tuesday evening at 7:30, Rabbi Richard is back from leave, and he'll be talking to Stephen Bush of the New Statesman's magazine, discussing inclusivity in the Jewish community. It's NECAP's event, so please come to that. On Wednesday, 7:30 is the Rosh Chodesh group with student Rabbi Eleanor Davis. And Thursday, 12:30 is Lunch and Learn with Rabbi David, talking about Rosh Chodesh Tammuz and the solar eclipse. The AGM approaches. It's 2 weeks this Tuesday, 22nd of June, 7:30. So I hope to have a big attendance, albeit still on Zoom. And I'm sure the topic of Zoom and services will be discussed on the evening. Wish long life to all who mourn. Thank you for all your kind wishes, Ruth. Very much appreciated. Shabbat Shalom to you all. Thank you. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Stuart. So before we're going on to the Adon Olam, just a reminder, if those want to stay on longer after the service, when the live stream is closed, there's this opportunity to be in breakout rooms for those who would like to. So don't forget about that. We'll now be starting with Adon Olam on page 525. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra Let Nasa B'chefso Kol Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra V'acharei Lo Yimloch Nora V'hu haya v'hu oved V'hu yeh b'tifara V'hu echad V'en sheni להמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום קרא בידו הפקיד רוחי בעת אישן בעירה ואם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא. So a wonderful Shabbat. This is the moment I think that Nick will terminate the live stream. and we can continue